Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We have some news here that I thought to share to you guys and hop on a quick live stream. And it has to do with Knicks forward OG Anunoby. You know, the Knicks and these injury updates make me want to pull my hair out, right? They make me want to pull my hair out. So it was revealed yesterday that Anunoby has been doing 5-on-5 practice, 5-on-5 contact. It was revealed yesterday. Joel, what's going on in the chat, man? How you doing? Hope all is well with you. And yeah, just wanted to come on here, quick live stream. The Knicks play the Chicago Bulls, kind of like a pregame for everything before the game live stream. Yeah, kind of like a pregame before the actual game. First one of the season. So if you're in here, shout out to you. But yeah, it was revealed today that OG Anunoby was upgraded to questionable. So he was upgraded to questionable today. And then about 20 minutes ago, so he went from yesterday, you remember Tom Thibodeau said that he was running 5-on-5 practice contact, and he was cautiously optimistic yesterday, Tom Thibodeau. Fast forward to today, Anunoby out of nowhere, questionable tag. And that got Knicks fans excited, saying, wow, OG Anunoby may play tonight. And about 20 minutes ago, OG Anunoby was upgraded to probable. And knowing that probable tag, that means 9 times out of 10, the player is going to play. Now, this is from Christian Winfield. I'm told OG Anunoby will return to the Knicks and play tonight against the Chicago Bulls. Anunoby has missed the last 9 games after aggravating a right elbow that underwent surgery in early January. Knicks are 15-2 with OG Anunoby. This is absolutely amazing news, right? This is amazing news for the New York Knicks. Big task, man. What's going on? I wanted to come on before the game, hop on a little quick live stream before the game, kind of like a pregame update. But since we got this OG Anunoby news, I got excited, and I was like, you know what? Let me hop on YouTube and, you know, talk it through with you guys and whatnot. Yes, he is playing tonight. Joel says OG is playing. Robert, what's going on? First time tapping in. Let's go, OG. Robert, appreciate you in here. Shout out to you for tapping in during this live stream. Hit him up. They should rest him. Knicks must be careful. You know, I had that thought. I was like, Knicks only have a few games here to close out the season. 3 out of the next three games against Chicago to close out the season. And I had that thought. That thought did come to me. I was like, why push it? You know, why not just give him a few extra days off? But if Anunoby, because take a look at what happened last time he came back, right? He came back, kind of re-aggravated it, and he's been out now. Yesterday, Tom Thibodeau said Anunoby was doing 5-on-5 practice, just gave us this, you know, update, this big update, and he said he was cautiously optimistic. And then today, back-to-back, fast forward to today, Tom Thibodeau saying that, well, he hasn't spoken yet, but upgraded to questionable. Then he was upgraded to probable. And then this right here from Christian Winfield saying OG Anunoby will play tonight for the New York Knicks. So that thought did come to my mind. Why, you know, just give him an extra few games. But if he's healthy, you know, Knicks are still trying to lock up a top 6 seed, right? And every win matters. And the 3 seed is still in the realm of possibilities, believe it or not. I mean, after all we've dealt with this season, we still can get the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Which is why I think Tom Thibodeau should get some Coach of the Year votes. But the random news yesterday, it kind of dampened our mood, right? And then the Knicks come out, get a big win versus Sacramento. The Nova boys step up, and then boom. Today, we get the OG Anunoby is probable. So I'm starting to become a little bit more optimistic, right? You're starting to feel some optimism in the air. And I love it Because look, it says it right here, 15-2 with Anunoby, and Anunoby's, oh man, if we can get a healthy Anunoby for our playoff push, it's gonna do wonders for this team. Even without Randall, I still think we can win a round with Anunoby and with Jalen Brunson. I still personally think we can win a round. So this is a big update, and it just tells me that Anunoby feels good, and if he feels good to go, and we just have to trust the Knicks medical staff. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. I love your name, man. What's good, man? What's good? Buzzer beater, what's going on? Holy crap, let's go Knicks. Yes, OG Anunoby is returning tonight for the New York Knicks in about an hour and a half. We're going to see OG Anunoby on the court. Tom Thibodeau is probably going to speak shortly here. He's probably going to say Anunoby's going to go through shoot around. If everything's all good, then everything will be A-OK. But that is from Christian Whitfield. He's told that OG Anunoby will play tonight. He is probable. It's not official yet, but it's looking like he is on the verge of returning tonight. And what I want to see, what I would like to see is, I want to see Mitchell Robinson and Anunoby on the same court together. I think those lineups would be pretty fun. And now, look, I mean, you can do so many things now with Anunoby back. It's going to be interesting to see who goes back to the bench. Will it be Deuce? I don't think Hart will go back to the bench, but it's gonna be really interesting, right? So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. OG Anunoby's back. A day after we get the bad Julius Randle news, we get this great news. I'm excited. S550 says, hopefully what's going on, S550? Hopefully they are very cautious of his pain throughout the game. That's what I'm nervous about, right? The one thing you do not want to occur is another setback, because we do not, at this point of the season, we do not need that. And I came into this thinking that, okay, he's doing 5-on-5 practice. He's on the verge of coming back. The Knicks are on the verge of locking up a top 6 seed, right? So I said to myself, keep him out another couple of weeks and just save him for round one, and then just unlock him. But it seems like the Knicks value these games to close out the season. It seems like the Knicks want to value these games. They want to get him back in the flow of things. They don't want him to be rusty. They want him to get some games underneath his belt before he, actually is playing 30, 35, 40 minutes a game in the playoffs, right? Which is why they brought back a Mitchell Robinson, right? Lately yesterday he had a good game, but, it takes Mitchell Robinson some time to get his, win back. And that's just, I personally thought they were going to save OG, but boom, today, he's probable. And Christian Whitfield says he's told OG Anunoby will return to the Knicks and play against the Chicago Bulls. It's a big game, believe it or not. It's a big game. Let me pull up the standings. I think Orlando plays tonight. I think Cleveland plays tomorrow. Cleveland only has 5 games left. I think the Knicks, they have 6 games left, right? So they have to go 5-1 to get to 50 wins. But if you take a look at these standings, Orlando plays tonight. I think they play the Hornets. So another easy game for the Magic. Knicks play the Bulls. Let's say we both win. We still stay. I don't know if Orlando has a tiebreaker with Cleveland, but this is why every game matters at this point, because right here is bunched up. And if the Knicks can jump to 3, 4, 5, you don't want to be in the play-in tournament. So shout out to the 76ers for beating the Heat yesterday, and that kind of gave us some separation. But I do think now with Anunoby back, guys, you guys can chime in the chat. How far do you think this Knicks team can go in the playoffs? I'm not going to get crazy and say they can, make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think a lot of things has to go right in order for that to happen. But if season ended today, you would face the Magic in the first round of the playoffs. And with the healthy OG Anunoby, I think we could take that. I think we can get around from Orlando, right? So, man, great news tonight. I'm not giving OG any more than 15 minutes tonight. Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting how long he plays. Probably 15 to 20 minutes. I don't think he's going to play his full minutes, but I do think the Knicks are going to be cautious here, because remember what happened last time. Came back. They looked great. Like Tom Thibodeau says, he fits seamlessly. came back, kind of re-injured that elbow, and yeah, he's been out ever since. But it's looking like he's gonna come back today. Puzzle Beater says, "Do we need to wrap him in bubble wrap?" That's essentially what I wanted to do personally, until the playoffs started, and then just unleash him and unlock him. And at that point, it is what it is, right? But like I said, it seems like the Knicks want to get, these games mean a lot to the Knicks, and they want to lock up this 6 seed. I think once they lock up a 6 seed, you're going to see some guys, maybe the last couple of games, you're going to see maybe Brunson out, or you're going to see them rest some guys, because the last thing we need is another injury, right? That's the last thing we need, especially with, Big Jew going down. Yeah, so OG Anunoby is looking like he will return tonight versus the Chicago Bulls. Christian Winfield said that he, upgraded to questionable today, then upgraded to probable. Then it came out like 20 minutes ago. Christian Winfield said that he's hearing that OG Anunoby is a go tonight. Is a go. So that's very exciting news. And this is just from Fred Katz. The information is coming out now. Tom Thibodeau just spoke, right? This is why I'm on here with you guys. OG Anunoby will go through his warm-up. And if he feels good, he will play. There you go. Tom Thibodeau just said that. He will go through his warm-up, and if he feels good, he will play. And knowing the player, he's going to play. And that's exciting news, man. A day after tragic news yesterday with the Randall situation, a big victory, getting a big victory at home, kind of brought our mood up, right? And then Tom Thibodeau was cautiously optimistic about OG, and then boom. He's back. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. S550 says, definitely could smoke the Magic. We have never played against them with OG, but imagine second round against a healthy MB. I think we played one game versus Orlando with OG and without a Jalen Brunson. I could be wrong. I think we played one game with OG and Brunson was out in that game. So, at the end of the day, I do think we can. I had Knicks in 5. Knicks in 6 in that series, 5 or 6. The Magic right now is our matchup, and I do think at the end of the day we could win that, and we should win that. Banchero's totally overrated. Nah, Banchero's a good player, man. If we get matched up with Orlando, he's a good player, but the inexperience, right? The inexperience from the Magic is what will give the Knicks an advantage at the end of the day. The Cavs said last year that they were shaking, pretty much insinuating that they were shaking. MSG was different. Fred Katz also says Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart will both warm up, and if they feel good, they'll play. Both are listed as probable. So, guys, we're getting OG Anunoby back. We got Mitchell Robinson back. We're literally 90% squad, right? Missing the big piece in Randall. Bogdanovich is starting to play well. Burks, Deuce is starting to seriously outplay the guy. Deuce is starting to, he's becoming a very vital piece to us. He's going to play 30 to 35 minutes in a playoff series. And then Anunoby. Getting Anunoby back is huge for his team. Absolutely huge. And now that he's back, because it's good that, he took some time off, the swelling went down, and the Knicks they feel good enough to get him back out there, because whenever you come back and kind of re-injure your elbow, that's not great news, right? And then, boom, today, Chicago, in about an hour and 20 minutes, OG Anunoby, hopefully looking like he will be on our basketball screen. And I'm excited to see a lot of lineups, especially with Mitch and OG Anunoby. It's a back-to-back. Let's not forget that. But, I'm sure it's a back-to-back, right? All these especially a back-to-back with travel. Because remember, early on in the season, the Knicks were having a bunch of back-to-backs with travel. And this is a back-to-back. We played in MSG yesterday. We're in Chicago. I think Chicago has been off for, 2 days here? 2 or 3 days here? So they're rested. And it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be a layup matchup. But I'm expecting the Knicks to do what they do best, compete, play to the final buzzer, hit your open man. The Jalen Brunson assist numbers are way up. Hartenstein assist numbers are way up. And Jalen Brunson with the pocket passes again. And now you can pair OG and Dante in the corners. And I love it. 15-2, and I think we're 15-1 with OG and Brunson on the same court. So 15-1 with OG and Brunson on the same court. Exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. Well, we got 6 games left, and we are the 5th seed in the East. I do think the magic number is what? 3. Magic number is 3. So any combination of Knicks wins and Heat losses, we will lock up the 6th seed. No, not the 6th seed. The top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. Again, want to avoid the East. Want to avoid the play-in tournament. You want to avoid the play. You want any one and done situation. You don't want that to happen, right? So I'm excited, man. Excited stuff, man. Shout out to OG, man. Shout out to OG. With OG, we're beating whoever falls to us in the first round. Look, it could be the Pacers. Could be the Cavs. Cavs are going through some things. Donovan Mitchell's not healthy. And we what we did with the Cavs last year, I'm sure if we get matched up to them again, they're going to want to seek revenge. That's probably going to be their rally cry. Or it could be the Magic. You know? We can face any of those teams. And I do think now that we have OG back, we can win that. We can win a round. And then who knows what can happen in the playoffs. Guys get hurt left and right? We advance to the second round. Somebody on the opponent team gets hurt. We're playing well. We're rolling. You never know, right? I'm not saying we're going to go far. I know with the Randall situation yesterday, it kind of like lowered my expectations, but you never know. Like I said, as long as you got number 11 and now you got hopefully a healthy OG Anunoby, I think we can do some things in the playoffs. I really do. Call me Mr. Optimistic Knicks fan, but look, there's a reason why we're fighting for the 3rd seed in the East, man. There's a reason why. We're deep. We're unselfish. We're well coached. We got guys playing well. Deuce. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. S550 says, I'm glad the Fizdale Knox era is behind us. Ready for the Knicks' future? Yeah. I don't want to think about that era whatsoever. Fakey fake. OG and Mitch in the same game for the first time. OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson in the same game for the very first time. I'm excited to watch that. I'm excited to see that. I know Big Mitch is just coming back from his foot injury. And look, this is Mitchell Robinson's first back-to-back, right? I believe it's his first back-to-back. So that's also a great sign, right? That means yesterday he feels good enough today to go. I think they'll limit his minutes a little bit, but 6 games left and, start to get back in the flow of things. And yeah, OG and Mitch in the same line. I'm excited to see that. I am. I truly am. Big task is either way, we have to step up on these Bulls. Yeah, man. I mean, look, Chicago is in a play-in tournament, right? Yeah, they've locked up a play-in seed. So they're number 9. So the furthest they can fall, is 10. So they're number 9 seed right now. And like I said, they've been rested. They haven't played for a few days here. So, and Knicks are coming off a back-to-back. These back-to-backs are tough. But this is a game that you should win, right? This is a game that we should win. This is like your prototypical trap game. I'm not going to lie to you. Coming off a great emotional win yesterday and then traveling on the road to Chicago. But at the end of the day, I do think the Knicks they're focused. Their focus level, they're focused right now. They're especially you get a good boost with OG coming back and they're focused, man. Lock up a top 6 seed and then we get some guys some rest and we just let the pieces fall. Whoever we play in the first round is whoever we play. I honestly I think the guys in the locker room are saying we can beat Indiana, we can beat Cleveland, we can beat Orlando. What you don't want is, 76ers or Miami or, a matchup like that in the first round. You don't want that. So, yeah, it's big news. Big news. So, OG's going to warm up, and it's looking like he will give it a go. Winfield said that he is looking like he is going to play. So, the Knicks getting healthy. The OG Anunoby is a big part of what we do. 15-2 with Anunoby in the lineup. So, we back. Bob says we can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. We need Precious, Dante Hart, and iHeart needs to attack the rim more to open up the three-point shots. Also use Sims, keep Precious at the 4. Bob, what's going on? Yeah, I do think Eastern Conference Final. Look, it depends who we match up with, right? It depends who we get matched up with in that second round. You know, it depends who we get matched up with. Milwaukee's reeling right now. Milwaukee, I'm not afraid of at all. But they still have Giannis and they still have Dame. So it depends who we get matched up in the second round. But like I said, anything can happen. And especially we've seen playoff Brunson just, I mean, he's awesome. He carried us last year, playoff Brunson. And now, look, another thing is OG is fighting for a contract, right? And Anunoby's fighting for a contract this summer. So he has a big opportunity playing now, playing into the playoffs. And if he plays well, he's going to get the bag this summer. So he also has something to prove, right? So that's another reason why I thought ultimately he will come back, and it's looking like he's back. So he's fighting for a contract, and I'm sure he wants to, have another run. And he said it prior to when he came back the first time. He wants to get back and have another run like we did in January. So he's fighting for a contract. S550 says, I noticed Mitchell's hops looking a little weak, but his presence around. Yeah, it's going to take him some time to get back in the flow of things. It's going to take him some time. Why did I make this so big? Well, sorry about that. 60 people in here just doing a little pregame before the game. If you haven't done so already, smash the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. Just doing a little pregame before the actual Chicago Bull game. Just wanted to come on here and say that OG Anunoby is now probable. He's going to warm up. He is going to give it. It's looking like he is going to give it a go. And that's exciting stuff, man. It's exciting stuff. We get to see OG is warming up with intention of playing, according to Tom Thibodeau. So he's intending to play. I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man. He's back. OG is back, man. Oof. A day after yesterday where it wasn't looking too great, and then we get that big win, and then boom, OG is back. John says Mitch still not looking like his best yet, but working his way to be him. Yeah, he's working his way back, man. It's gonna take him some games, but I'm not too concerned. But it's gonna take him some games to get back in the flow of things. Is OG starting at the 3 or 4? Interesting question, right? Interesting question. I think they would go with a lineup of maybe Brunson, Dante, Hart, Anunoby, and then Hartenstein. I think that's going to be your 5. I think. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, Anunoby, and Hartenstein. And then who gets relegated to the bench? It's Deuce. So, but that lineup, it hasn't come out yet. So, it hasn't come out yet. But I think that's the way they go. So, Buzzer Beater says Windhorse. Yeah, Windhorse, he took some slack. I was listening to his pod today, and he even said he took some slack from Knicks fans, and it is what it is, man. John says, I think Deuce is coming off the bench. Yeah, I think Deuce is going to be back to the bench, and that's a boost, right? Look, Deuce has done wonders in the starting lineup. He has played really, really well for us. So just an extra, him coming in off the bench with a Burks and Bogdanovic, maybe that can unlock a Burks, I don't know. I'm just trying to throw stuff at the wall here because Burks just hasn't played well. Maybe Burks doesn't play at all. Maybe this takes minutes away from Burks at all. We just have to wait and see. But hopefully, now you put Deuce on the bench, and now it kind of gives that unit another spark because Bogdanovic has started to play well here, and that's a great sign because we need him. So yeah, bringing a major piece to the puzzle back, it unlocks quite a bit. It really does. CM says I still want to see Burks in big games. Yeah, it stinks that Burks hasn't been his typical self. S550, I'll get to your question at the end of the. I see your question there about Hartenstein. I'm calling it Bojan going to win us a game in the playoffs. I said it before. If one of those guys, Bogdanovic or Burks, were to hit a big shot or were to have a huge, massive stretch in a playoff series, we will forget about all of these bad games that they've had. Like, I'm not going to care about these games. As long as they show up in the playoffs, as long as they, provide us a good offensive spark, I mean, ultimately, that's what we need now that we know Randall isn't coming back. So I think now we kind of have the offense to get things going. I know we've been struggling to score with Brunson off the bench sometimes, but now Hart stepped up last game. But OG, he changes a lot. I think OG comes off the bench until he gets his mojo back. Buzzer beater. I don't know if Davis is gonna bring OG off the bench. I don't think so. I think if he's good to go, I think he's going to start, and he's either going to replace Deuce or Hart in that lineup, and I think it's going to be Deuce. Could be wrong. Though. I think Tom Zips is going to play with the matchup, so we just gotta wait and see. Start Deuce. Start Pokey. It's a lot. Look, I saw a lot of fans on Twitter want to start Bogdanovic too. I saw a lot of people saying that start Bogdanovic to give us more offense, but Hart stepped up, and ultimately, I don't think the Knicks go in that direction. But and at this late in the season, I don't think the Knicks are going to tinker with lineups too. Remember that. This late in the season, I don't think Tom Thibodeau wants to tinker with anything. And knowing Thibs, that's not his MO. Sorry, a commercial just big task, really? My bad. Detroit boys are starting to come. I mean, Bogdanovic is starting to come around. Burks, not so much, but Bogdanovic is starting to come around. Word on the street, Jokic will win MVP, and Brunson should be top 6 in MVP voting for sure. I mean, top 6 or top 5. I think he's right there. I mean, I think the latest rankings from NBA.com came out today again, and guess who isn't in the top 5? It's Jalen Brunson. At this point, I don't respect those rankings at all. Yeah, I mean, whoever's putting out those rankings are just doing it for kind of our engagement. Knicks fans are going to see that and not see Jalen Brunson in the top 10. And if you watch basketball, I mean, Jalen Brunson should be at least in the top 5, top 6, top 5. So the latest rankings came out today. No Brunson in the top 10. And come on, you watch basketball with your 2 eyes, he should be in the top 5. Buzzer beater says send Burks to Alaska and mail him his clothes, man. Buzzer beater, man. Always funny in a chat. But yeah, Brunson, Hart, game time decisions remain probable. Anunoby will warm up with the intention of playing. Great news for the New York Knicks. Expectations kind of changed when Randall went down with his shoulder. But like I've been saying, do not count out this Knicks team in the playoffs, especially. Don't count out this Knicks team. Matched up against a good opponent in the first round. We know, we know ourselves, right? Let's say we advance to the second round and we get matched up with, let's say, Boston. I'm not saying we're gonna win that series. I mean, it's gonna be extremely hard. Boston is at the cream of the top, right? But a lot of Knicks fans are gonna be hype and be like, "Oh, we could beat Boston. Anything can happen." So I'm just saying, like, with Anunoby back, it kind of brings my hope meter a little bit more up, right? I mean, with the Randall news, it was kind of wavering. But with Anunoby and Brunson, I think we're 15-1 with those two on the court, and everyone playing well, knowing their role, playing well, doing their job. Bogdanovic coming in off the bench, scoring. Deuce coming in, scoring and providing his defense. Hart doing his Josh Hart thing. DiVincenzo, another scorer that we have. I mean, and Brunson doing his thing in the playoffs. I mean, it's gonna make it harder for teams to double team Brunson now, because now you got a guy that can create his own shot in Anunoby, and a guy who can knock down an open 3 in Anunoby, and a guy that can defend 1 through 5, and a guy that can, his deflection rate is up this season. His deflections are up, and a guy that can push the pace, run fast breaks, and is a high flyer. Or anytime he's around the rim, he's dunking the ball. So it's a massive upgrade. Big game tonight. Like I said, the standings, pulled up the standings prior. Orlando has Charlotte tonight. So if we take a look at Orlando's schedule here, I think they have a quite a bit of an easy schedule to close out. So Charlotte, Chicago, Look, at Houston, at Milwaukee, at Philly versus Milwaukee. Okay, I lied. So, look, the season's going to come down to the final 2 games of the season. We're not going to know our first round matchup until the final 2-3 games of the season. So, it's exciting stuff, though. It's really exciting stuff to have Anunoby back. I did not think Anunoby was coming back. I'm not going to lie to you guys. After the Randall injury news, I was like, you know what? Is this going to be the year of the injury? And then boom. Today, questionable, upgraded to probable. And then these Knicks and these injuries, man. I mean, they make you want to pull your hair out with these injury updates. You know, it's just yesterday we got the update with he's doing 5-on-5, and now he's going to play today, which is that just tells me he was practicing prior to that, right? And we just didn't know it yet. But yeah. 79 people in here. Smash the subscribe button. Appreciate every single one of you. Just want to come on here saying that Anunoby's back. Anything is possible now. Anunoby is back. Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love it. And I'm excited. I truly am. Hit some of these more comments. LV, what's going on? Great show. LV, what's going on, man? Appreciate you in the chat. Always in here supporting, man. Love your shows over there as well. S550 says the other top 3 scorers above Brunson are in the top 5 MVP race, but Brunson isn't. Ridiculous. Jalen Brunson isn't in the MVP race because they're just doing it. I mean, at this point, they just want engagement. They just want us Knicks fans to comment on it and engage it, but that's just the NBA.com MVP rankings. He's not in the top 10. But as we all know, watching basketball with your 2 eyes, Jalen Brunson is a top 5 MVP candidate this year. I mean, just look at what we've gone through this season. And we're a half game behind the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference, right? Speaks for itself. Assist numbers are up. Scoring is up. I mean, come on now. John says, as much as you don't like Bojan, going to need him to at least hit his average, make up for not having Randall. Yeah, I mean, his average is what, 9? I think it dropped to what, 18? He's not going to get that, right? But if he can give us 15 points off the bench like he has been against the Miami Heat, I was at that game, and he was, I thought that he should have stayed in the game. Tom Thibodeau subbed him out in that 4th quarter, but he had it going. Like he had it rolling. And that's exactly what we need out of Bogdanović, that scoring punch. And then yesterday versus the Kings, he played well too in the limited minutes. So it's starting to seem like he's getting his, he's getting his feet underneath him, right? He's starting to, hit his shots, and that's important. I think as a Knick, he was shooting 33% from 3. So hopefully these next 2 games are a confidence booster and he can get it going. And that's what we need. So Buzzer Beater says my MVP sources via the Heat is check from Tim. Yeah, I think Tim Bontemps says Brunson in the top 5. Bob says, we need to win the next 5 out of 6 before I can say we can get past the Eastern Conference Finals. Also with the Traps. Look, I don't think. Let me pull up our schedule. I know we got Chicago these last 3 out of these last 6 games, right? So let's say we win tonight, and at Milwaukee is going to be tough, but then at Chicago. I mean, what kind of schedule is this really? At Chicago, at Milwaukee, at Chicago, at Boston. Boston, that's another one. Boston probably has things wrapped up. So who's to say they've been kind of resting guys in and out. Tatum's out tonight. They've been kind of taking turns. One day Tatum's out. No, I think Brown is out, excuse me. And then now, next game Tatum's out. So who knows if they're going to have a full squad. And then versus Brooklyn, versus Chicago, we should get 2 victories to close it out. And then, look, at this moment, we would be playing the Magic, but things are so fluent right now in the East. Like, Cavs are on a tough road trip. Magic have the Charlotte Hornets tonight. I think the Pacers are – I don't think the Pacers will stay in the 6th seed, but then again, you never know. So things are still fluent, like very fluent. Like we can – there's a world where we can jump to the 3rd seed and Philly or Miami can be the 6th seed. And then the Knicks find themselves playing the Philadelphia 76ers or the Miami Heat in the first round. That I don't like that, but there's a world where that can happen. So It's just a matter of where you would like to finish. Like I said, I would want to play Orlando, Cleveland, or Indiana in the first round. And then we're talking, right? And then we just go from there, right? So it is what it is. Nostalgic Nick, what's going on? What's going on? Just had to hop on here. OG Anunoby is back for the New York Knicks. Didn't know what to expect regarding his elbow, re-injured it, and now he is back. 6 games remaining. Knicks wanted to, they value these 6 games remaining. So Anunoby's back. It's going to be interesting he's going to start, so who's going to be relegated back to the bench? My thoughts is going to be Deuce. You leave Hart in there, and then we just go from there. Kind of unlocks, bring Deuce off the bench as well, and hopefully that can get the bench going. It's going to be interesting if Deuce goes back to the bench. Will Alec Burks even play? Will he even play? John says the G is back, so Miles to the bench. I think I saw a few highlights of Rokas. Cavs have shown bad gameplay. I want home court advantage. If we lose to Indiana or Magic, it would be worse than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, I mean, right now what you want to do is hopefully get home court. You want home court, right? If not, I'm not like, if we finish 5th, I'm not too concerned about that. Like if it stays what it is now, if we play the Magic, right? If we get 4 or 5 in Orlando, there's a bunch of Knicks fans going to travel. It's going to seem like another home court advantage. So even if we don't get home court versus Orlando, I'm not going to go too crazy over that. But if you're having a matchup versus Miami or the 76ers, you definitely want home court. And look, Cleveland, I think we can give a run for their money. They're a different team this year. I'm sure they're going to be hungry. They're reeling right now. They're 4-6 in their last 10. It's very fluent right now, very fluent. So, but great news is that OG Anunoby is back. So we just have to control what we can control. Win these games that you're supposed to win. Win tonight. Tough back-to-back versus Chicago. You got to get the job done. Back-to-back with travel. I think the Bulls have had a couple of days off here. Get the job done. Win tonight. And then we just go from there. I think the magic number is then 2 if you win tonight. So you're one step closer to locking up a top 6 seed in the East. And then we go from there. Cam, what's going on? Salute to you as well. I'm cool with 3 to 6 spots. We can compete with anyone. Cavs down. Cavs, Magic, Heat, 76ers, Pacers, and Bucks are on shaky ground too. Cam, what's going on? I don't know why this keeps finishing. I got to fix that. But Cam, what's going on? Yeah. What you want to do is try to get home court, and I do think we can match up well against Indiana, Orlando, Cleveland. But a first-round matchup versus like the Heat, it's going to be tough. But I do think with Anunoby back, there's a chance, right? Fighter's chance. And tip the ball up, man. At the end of the day, we got number 11, Jalen Brunson. Anything is possible with that dude. Jalen Brunson in the playoffs is a problem. He's a problem. And not in a bad sense, in a good way. He's a problem. I mean, he can single-handedly win you games by himself. And he has. He turns into a different animal in these playoffs, man. A different animal. And like I said, as long as we have that dude leading the ship, with everyone complimenting him, with Anunoby back, Mitch back now, we can still make some noise, guys. We can still make some noise. Not saying we can go, maybe Eastern Conference Finals, but we can still make some noise. And then you never know, like I said, you never know what can happen, right? Let me touch on some quick. OG Anunoby is playing tonight. That just came out. Hit the thumbs up button for this. OG Anunoby is playing tonight. He told me. Thumbs up for OG Anunoby. He is officially back. Whew. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch him play, man. I am. He's back. He's back. Thumbs up for Anunoby playing. Let's go. Evan, what's going on? I want to sweep the Bulls, John said. We got to, man. Got to. Hopefully, Nostalgic Nick, hopefully we play Orlando first round for a challenge. I do think it's going to be a tough matchup, but Orlando is inexperienced, right? Orlando, they're young. They got some, they have some big guys. They have some good defenders over there that they'll probably stick on Brunson. But I think that's the perfect matchup the Knicks want in the first round. Knicks fans will travel to Orlando. They're inexperienced. Once they step foot in MSG, MSG is different in the playoffs, man. It's different. Heat aren't that good. Rozier hit some big shots. Yeah, Rozier did hit some big shots in that game. But Rozier gives them another element. Evan says OG is shut down perimeter, and I'm saying Eastern. Evan's saying Eastern Conference Finals. Evan is still optimistic that he's Eastern Conference Finals. John says, yeah, if we're plugged in, we got to sweep the Bulls. Can't take them lightly, though. Can't. They're in the play-in tournament. They still got some scrappy guys over there. DeRozan is always a clutch player, and he's been playing well this year. So can't take him lightly. But the game you should win, right? Game you should win. Back-to-back, which is tough, but it's a game you should win. So Anunoby's back, man. I'm excited to watch him play. Fred Cash just tweeted that a few minutes ago. And yeah, Anunoby's back. Let's go. Let's get a victory in Chicago, guys. Let's go get a victory. John says, I agree, JB is a problem, but someone has to step up to help so he can pass out the double teams. John, that's OG. That's OG. Knicks have been struggling with offense when Brunson has been going to the bench. But now if you kind of stagger Anunoby, if you kind of use him as that second, third scorer, maybe Dante's you're kind of still your second scorer. But OG can drop 20 to 25 points on any given night, and he can do it in many ways. Mid-range, shooting the three, fast breaks. He can do it in many different ways. So I'm excited, man. I'm truly am excited. Status still questionable on DraftKings. They better update that. Defensively, OG is taking lunch money out there. We really need to praise his defensive mastery. Look, there's a reason why the Knicks are 15-2 with OG Anunoby on the court. There's a reason why they're 15-1 with OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson. So I'm excited. Tonight is gonna be a fun night. Hopefully, obviously, I would want the win. But there were some comments earlier saying, did the Knicks could have you given OG another couple of days off and maybe kind of prolong this till Sunday, My thing is, I think if OG's ready, the player's ready, is get him out there as many games as possible. Because at the end of the day, if he kind of re-aggravates this thing, which I'm hoping that he doesn't do, I'm just saying, but the Knicks value these games. So just wanted to come on here and give you guys the update. Anunoby's back, man. Enjoy the game. Hopefully enjoy another Knicks victory. I'm Anthony. If you're new here, smash the subscribe button. I will be doing a post-game. This is kind of my first pregame before the game. So come hop in the post-game. Hopefully it's a big Knicks victory. And let's get a victory. Let's close out the season on a high note. And magic number is 3. Let's get it done. And let's get a victory tonight. John says playoff Brunson is real. Evan says it's up to him. Yeah, playoff Brunson is real, John. Playoff Brunson is extremely real. And we saw it versus the Cavs and versus the Miami Heat. Single-handedly won us a game. Played one game. He played the whole game. And game 6 was, I keep thinking about that last possession, right? Kind of turned the ball over there at the end. But it's playoff Brunson is a problem. And now you pair that with OG Anunoby. Who knows? I'm optimistic. My hope meter is going up. Yesterday it was we lost Big Jew, major piece of the puzzle. But now with this guy back, Anunoby, major piece of the puzzle. It's only up. We're the 5th seed, man. Still fighting for the 3rd seed, still in the sights. So we just gotta hope for the best. Hopefully everyone can come out of tonight healthy, and hopefully we can end the season on a healthy note. So enjoy the game, guys. I'll be back for the post game. Appreciate you guys joining in here. If you haven't done so already, subscribe so you can catch me in the post game and whatnot. But as always, let's go Knicks. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you guys tonight. Hopefully the Knicks can win. Peace.